Here's the truth that nobody talks about. Living alone doesn't mean just eating dinner by yourself. It means your wins don't count unless you post them. Your bad days happen in silence. Your discipline is invisible. And here's the pattern that most people hit. It's lonely because you no longer have an external validation loop working for you. Nobody sees you try. Nobody confirms you're doing it right. So you either learn how to validate yourself or you spend every night or hours scrolling on your phone just for proof that you exist. Here's what nobody tells you. Living alone turns your life into a closed system. No witness, no built-in structure. Some people are living alone for the first time, some after divorce, some after loss, some in a house full of people, but still isolated. Different reasons, same pattern. And if you don't learn how to operate inside the system, your progress is going to slow down, even when you're capable. Here's the first truth you need to know. When you live alone, your discipline doesn't have a witness. No one notices the meal you cooked instead of ordering out. No one confirms that the work you did mattered. And this is where most people quietly slip. They don't quit. They start posting, not to share, but to recreate a scorecard. Here's the mechanism. When no one is watching, your external feedback loop shuts off. And if your discipline depends on being seen, your execution fails fast. I've seen this pattern repeat in many decades of my life. Every time I lived alone, the details change, but the pull was the same. I'd finished something meaningful, but I felt the pull to translate it into the world, explain it, post it, let someone acknowledge it existed. The shift happened when I stopped narrating my life in real time. I would finish things and not tell anyone, just let the work sit, completed, just at least for a little while, without applause. Nothing disappeared. The work still worked. And that's the advantage. And you can learn this too. Invisible discipline teaches you to trust your own scorecard, and people who can execute without an audience always outperforms the people who can't. If your discipline needs witnesses, you're not disciplined, you're performing. Once discipline becomes invisible, the next thing you lose is feedback. And this is where most people reach for their phone. Nobody tells you you're doing it right. Nobody checks in. Nobody notices the days that you're off. So naturally, your brain looks for input. You scroll, refresh, swipe. Not for connection, but for confirmation that this day counted. This can get mislabeled as boredom, but it's not. What you're missing is that signal that says, that was a good day. There's no shared moment where the day officially ends. No one asking you how it went. No natural punctuation. I watched a client go through this the first time he had to live alone. Smart, independent, doing everything right. Second promotion, all signs of success. And every night, it looked the same. Couch, phone, scroll, refresh. He kept saying he was bored, but he wasn't. He had no internal signal telling him that his effort meant anything. Here's the decision that living alone will force for you. You have to decide what makes this day successful before anyone reflects it back to you. Here's one question that changed everything for me. If no one ever knew what I did today, would I still choose it again? If you can't answer, that's not a cue for you to scroll. It's a cue to decide. Living alone accelerates internal decision-making faster than any other environment will. If you stop outsourcing that job to algorithms, if one of these truths is hitting uncomfortably close to home, say which one in the comments. Naming it is the first move. All right, let's get to the third truth. Work ends. Nothing replaces it. No one's asking what's for dinner. No one turning off lights at a certain hour. No shared rhythm pulling the day to an end. And here's where people misdiagnose the problem. They think they need more discipline, but they don't. Discipline without structure is just willpower. And willpower alone is not sustainable. I see this pattern constantly with my clients. Week 1, living alone, motivated. Meal prep, gym, early nights. Week 3, DoorDash 4 nights in a row. Midnight scrolling, missed workouts. They think they're failing. They're not adjusting to the new container of their life. When you live alone, you have to build it. Or chaos or unconscious habits will. Here's a simple starting point you can use. Choose one repeatable meal, same dinner, same night, every week. At the minimum, choose one default 50-minute workout. No decision required. Choose one hard stop for screen time. This is not negotiable. That's it. No rigid routines, but enough structure for discipline to be able to attach to it. If you're waiting to feel disciplined while living alone, trust me, chaos and unconscious habits will win. Build the container first, and discipline will follow. Living alone isn't the problem. Operating without witnesses, feedback, or structure is. And that's the truth that no one talks about. It's lonely because the validation loop is gone. And once you understand this, the loneliness will make sense. This isn't something you fix. It's something you learn how to operate inside it. Pick one decision from this video. Apply it in the next 48 hours. And if you're applying this and still feeling friction, capable, functional, but not quite clear what actually moves the needle forward, there's a link below for a private strategy conversation. That's where we can figure out what's blocking your traction. And if you're finding this useful, go ahead and like the video. It helps me know what's landing.